there's a point where you don't know if you could push yourself any harder or if you can go any further. And it's very simple. You're still only putting one foot in front of the other. Nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I both know everything's changed. When your body is screaming at you to slow down, everything's changed. It's not just one foot in front of the other anymore. I look back on those moments that were really hard, whether it's racing in a triathlon or building my business, and I look back on them and I think I was freaking awesome. I wouldn't trade any of those moments. I really wouldn't. In the moment, I don't know that I would say, yeah, this is awesome. I don't really feel that way. When you figure it out and you come out on the other side and you look back on it, and I'm like, that's pretty fired up.
Kill Complacency, a podcast that inspires growth and intentionality and helps you overcome your greatest obstacles.
Okay, talk to me about running and training and all that good stuff. You've always been a triathlon guy? Triathlete?
No, not at all. I was a track guy, but I was a sprinter hurdler, not a distance guy at all. So I did in high school and college. But then when I graduated college, I was done. Like, I didn't do any training at all. Got married, of course, started to gain some weight. And actually one night I was laying in my bed, and you could probably, I'm a pretty lean guy. Like, I'm 150 pounds, and that's high for me. That's actually heavy for me. I'm in the off season. I'll cut probably 10 pounds. I'll usually race about 140, 142. I try not to dip below 140 because that's pretty unhealthy for me. But anyway, at one night I laid down and I looked down and my stomach actually like shifted when I laid down in my bed. And it freaked me out so bad because I gained, like, I've never seen that before on my body. And so I was in my early or mid 20s. And so I saw triathlon on TV, got involved in it for a couple of years. Well, then I started on with UPS and it kind of fell away until, I think about 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I got back into triathlon. I always said that when I left my job, I wanted to get back into it. Because I never really got to throw myself into it. Because even when I did it, I just kind of dabbled in it. And so that's what I did. I threw myself at it. And yeah, I've been doing triathlon for 7 years now. And it's really just a major, major part of my life. That I told you I've been sick the last week, so I haven't trained for a week. Not training for a week is just not something that happens in a year. Like, that doesn't happen. I couldn't tell you the last time I went a week without training, but it was just kind of impossible this time. But yeah, so it entered into my life, and it's, I remember reading in, I think it was Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
And he talks about these cornerstone habits, I think is what he calls them.
Okay.
And physical fitness is one of those cornerstone habits that impacts a lot of different areas. So, I want to try and keep it in my life because I've realized, I try and teach my kids this. I'm like, focusing on physical fitness is going to help your business because you're going to be more confident. You're going to be more mentally acute, have mental acuity.
Yeah.
You're also going to watch what you eat, which could lead you to your budgeting, to manage your budget a little better on how much this food costs. And it just filters into all these areas. Now, that's not why I did it. That's just one of the byproducts of it.
Sure.
But no, I got back into it for really, it was one of my dreams. It was one of my dreams to get back into it. And it's always been sports, or running in particular, has always been a place of healing and restoration for me. In my darkest time as a kid, is when I started running, and I don't even know why I started running. It was almost like God tapped me on the shoulder and said, I have this gift for you that you don't know about, but I want you to find it. And so in the middle of the night, I'm living with a total stranger, parents divorced, all that stuff. I'm living with a total stranger. And I decided to go for a run. No idea why. And literally I went for that run, and I noticed that then I would go to track practice in 7th grade. I'd go to track practice, and instead of being one of the slowest kids, just by running a couple times, I ended up gaining progress very quickly, a lot quicker. I coach track now. It's hard to gain progress in this sport. You got to work hard. I didn't have to work as hard as everybody else to see
Mm,
progress. And I've come to realize as I've gotten older that this is how God speaks to me. This is
mm,
how this is where I find that place of peace, is when I am doing this gift. Like he gave it to me. I want to use it. I want to use it as long as I can.
yeah, that's cool. If you want to wear a billboard of a message of kill complacency or live intentionally, then check out my merch store. It's www.mindsetshop.com. Mindset is with an X, so it's MINDXET shop, SHOP.com. Mindsetshop.com. You mentioned earlier, but I know this from talking to you a month ago, your wife used to run marathons as well, right?
She did. Yeah.
And now
Yep.
you've got a daughter training for Boston.
Yes.
So I'm curious about your daughter's journey. How did she kind of get into it when you started getting into it?
She I'm a track and field guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so my more than a triathlon guy, probably, because track and field is really where I got my start.
Yeah.
And so my kids grew up in that environment.
Okay.
And so it was kind of they all wanted to run track. They all wanted to run cross country, which I didn't run cross country. But they all wanted to do those things. And so it was kind of just a natural progression. Their mother did do some triathlons, but she just kind of, for me, it was my life. Like,
Sure.
track and field was my life. That was everything to me. And so my kids just kind of gravitated towards that, really. And as a byproduct, I love to run with my daughter when I can.
Mm-hmm.
She's pretty fast now, so it's kind of a struggle for me, but I try to run with her as often as I can. And but yeah, so it wasn't necessarily because my wife did marathons, although that was, we're a running family. Again, we're a
Yeah.
running family, so it's kind of a natural outflow. But my daughter didn't necessarily set out to qualify for Boston. She
Sure.
didn't even know what the qualifying time was. She just ran a
Really?
marathon. Yeah, she had no idea. She ran a marathon, and I looked it up, and I'm like, the first marathon she ran, she just missed it. Literally missed it by 2 minutes. And I'm like, you just missed Boston qualifying. She's like, what's the time? And so then she got serious when she realized that she could do it. So then of course she qualified, and now she's training for it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's tons of fun. Tons of fun.
Talk to me about the correlations between, you talked about it's hard to see much gain in running. It takes a lot of time and perseverance. I would argue the same is kind of true in real estate, right? It's a lot of leverage because you can leverage someone else's money and then someone else's money to pay it off. But it takes time. So talk to me about the parallels between maybe training for a race in comparisons to investing long-term in real estate. Like what kind of lessons do you learn from both?
Oh my gosh, man. I mean, there are so many parallels of pushing yourself beyond where you think you can go.
Mm.
Why I love triathlon or running, input whatever your endurance athletic sport is, there could be anything, right?
Sure.
Is it's so simple. I put one foot in front of the other. It's one pedal stroke in front of the other. It's simple, but it's not easy. And you hit a point in a race, especially. And for me, I like to do it, but I compete. Like I like to compete. Okay. So I'm pushing myself.
Me
right?
too.
Yeah. So it's just, but there's a point where you don't know if you could push yourself any harder or if you can go any further. And it's very simple. You're still only putting one foot in front of the other. Nothing's changed. But you and I both know everything's changed. Like when your body is screaming at you to slow down, everything's changed. It's not just one foot in front of the other anymore. And real estate is the same way. You learn what it is that we need to do, and you pretty much got it. Like, yeah, there's new things you're going to learn, but you pretty much got it. Like it's not rocket science
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, especially when you nail down on a certain, for us, it's burring properties. We burr
Mhm.
properties and we very simple. I don't get into a whole lot of other stuff. That's what I do. That's what I've done to get free. That's what I'm going to keep doing until I feel like there's something else. I'm very satisfied with staying steady,
Yeah.
staying the course, and building wealth for my family. But man, there's some obstacles. There's some things that happen that are gut punches.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden it's not just simple anymore. And there are major problems when you didn't see them coming. You're flipping a house that suddenly won't sell, and you've got $40,000, which I have right now. Fortunately, it's under contract. Thank God. Sat there for 5 months. I have 40 some $1,000 sitting in that house that I didn't anticipate sitting in, and I've got all these other projects going
Mhm.
on, and I'm like, this is this year, or well, the end of last year. Where I'm like, are there any no interest credit cards being offered right now? Like,
Yeah.
I need to buy materials. I mean, so there's always those parallels. And I remember reading a book called Shoe Dog by
Mm.
Phil Knight, creator of Nike. And he said that business is war without bullets. And in so many ways, I think that's accurate. Like, it really is. When people steal your marketing strategy, they steal your brand, right? Because it works and it's building reputation. All of a sudden, people that you trust, right? All of a sudden, you go to their website and it looks exactly like yours.
Mm.
They send out their mailers and they brand exactly like you just branded. And we're in a small market, so we're not in Oklahoma City or something like that. We're in a small market,
Yeah.
43,000 people. Somebody does, I knew they are. I know who they are. Like, I don't know, man. It's just there's so many parallels, but the victory on the other side, and it's not even the victory. I look back on those moments that were really hard, whether it's racing in a triathlon or building
Mhm.
my business, and I look back on them and I think I was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade any of those moments. I really wouldn't. In the moment, I don't know that I would say, "Yeah, this is awesome." I don't really feel that way. But afterwards, it's that going back to that figuring it out, right?
Mhm.
When you figure it out and you come out on the other side and you look back on it, and I'm like, "That's pretty fired up." Like, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Well, and that's what I would say too. A lot of times, you can want to throw in the towel on a race and walk or catch your breath. And maybe you need to, but you don't have to quit, you know. And a lot of times if you'll just take a little pause, you can keep going. And I think the same is true in real estate. A lot of times we do get something comes at us. What is the 3 T's? Tenants, trash, and toilets.
Yeah, right?
It's one of
Sure.
those 3 things that usually gets you and frustrates you, and it's a curveball you don't expect.
Yeah.
And a lot of times if you just step back a little bit, you can figure it out. And I kind of think of your story earlier on financing, like that was a big curveball. But you figured
Yeah.
it out. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And there's certain things that, our capacity grows.
mm,
Our capacity, what we can handle grows. And I didn't, I probably underestimated that right there. I mean, when, it's just like the typical real estate investor, Thanksgiving, when you're meeting with your family and somebody's complaining because their hot water heater went out yesterday. And you're like, if only I had one hot water heater go out,
yeah.
I mean, it's like, these problems that used to be problems just aren't problems anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for sure. For sure. And I remember I haven't been running that long, but kind of when you start off something new, you're terrible and you're just throwing yourself at it. And looking back now, like even at running or real estate, there's so many shortcuts to things, so many easier ways to do it, but you just don't know what you don't know. So stay in the course, put in the
Yeah,
time also makes it get easier and easier. So,
totally does. Totally does. It's just sticking with it,
yeah.
right? That's I teach my athletes as a track and field coach. I say it over and over again: consistency over time, consistency over time, consistency over time is what makes you a champion. Is what makes
Hmm.
you successful. It's not quick. It's not easy. It's just consistent and rinse and repeat, man. So much of building this business as a real estate business it's not super exciting. I mean,
Yeah.
I do the same stuff every house. Like, it's not sexy. I'm not having HGTV knocking on my door saying, "I love your design work." Like, I'm not going for that. I
Hmm.
don't right? I'm building a safe house that a family is gonna absolutely love. It's
Hmm.
clean, it's fresh, it's safe, it's new. They're gonna love it. That's my goal. That's what I'm going for. I'm not trying to win any, like, design contest. I mean, for the love, it's really pretty boring. It's pretty straight and dirty. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, and I think the bigger you get, the boringer you get to some extent. You know,
I think so too.
your
Yeah,
your
yeah,
rules are the same, and the same is true on running. Like if I have a big week of running, a lot of times I'm running the same roads every day and having the same dogs come bark at me.
right,
But
and
it's
chase you.
just yeah, it's the same old. But it's what you got to do to maintain and get better. So
That's it. That's it. It's the same thing. The same thing with my training. My training's the same way. It's the same thing over and over again, year in, year out. Uh, and
yeah.
I actually have come to appreciate that consistency. Like, it
Hmm.
doesn't bother me a bit. I enjoy it. I love knowing what to expect.
Yeah. Now, last year you competed in Spain. Is that right? Was it Spain?
Yeah, yeah.
Talk to
It's
me
pre-
about that.
oh man, it was pretty
How'd you
amazing.
do? You got like was it 13th,
I got 15th.
15th in the world?
I mean, yeah. I
Yeah.
there's a in my age group, for the Olympic distance triathlon. So I mean, it's not like, I'm not racing, I did race former professionals, but they smoked me. So I don't want to sound too, uh yeah, it was amazing, man. When I first got into triathlon, I got an email that I qualified for nationals and I thought it was a scam.
Mm.
So I reached out to another guy I was competing with. I said, "Hey, is this true?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, congratulations. You qualified. Just sign up." I'm like, "No way. I didn't even know there was a nationals."
Mm.
So signed up. The next year I went to nationals and then found out there was worlds. And I'm like, "What? There's worlds?" And so yeah, so in 20 it was actually 2023. I had actually qualified and went to Spain to represent Team USA in my age group.
Mm.
Um, oddly, I just barely squeaked in. I, I didn't have a good race at nationals, so you have to be a certain spot at nationals in order to make it to worlds. And I had a really poor race. It was hot that day, and for some reason, the heat just it nailed me.
Hmm.
And I ran. Running is my strongest event. Actually, being a runner, and I struggled bad.
What
But
was your
somehow
distance? What was your distance at that race?
it was an Olympic distance. So you're swimming, what was it? You're swimming like 1,400 yards or somewhere right around there, just shy of a mile.
Okay.
And then you're biking 40K, and then running a 10K.
Okay.
So it's like 24 point some miles in the bike, and then you're
Yeah.
6.2 run.
How long does all
Um,
that take?
for me, my PR is like a 2 hour, and I think I did it 2 hours and 10 minutes,
Wow.
something like that. I don't really know because every course is different, so it's
Sure.
hard to say. But usually just over 2 hours, um, is what I like to do it in. But yeah, man, it was amazing. When I went there, everybody was on the same team. Like, it
Mm.
was the most remarkable experience because I kind of poo-pooed it, to be honest with you, because they have all these different events and stuff. They got a parade of nations, they've got all these cool things. And I was really kind of annoyed by it because I'm like, let's just race. All right. Like, this is all just, you know, um, But we ended up doing a parade of nations, and it actually brought me to tears
Mm,
because you got Republicans and Democrats and everything in between, and none of that mattered.
mm,
We were all Team USA,
mm,
and we're all like, none of us are doing this as a profession. We all have
mm,
families and jobs and responsibilities, and here we are with an opportunity. We're wearing a red, white, and blue, representing our country. And when we walk down the corridors of Spain, uh, people lined. I mean, there's people everywhere. There's people up in the little verandas and stuff, and they would just start chanting "USA,
mm,
USA" when we came through, and it gives me chills even now. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
mm,
And I was the guy that was like, this is ridiculous. This is all
mm.
just ploys to get us to come back and spend our money. You know how we are, right? And it wasn't that at all. It was powerful, and it was super cool to race against guys from all over the world.
Mm.
Got in a running battle with another guy from Spain, a guy from Mexico, guy from Great Britain. I got in a biking battle with a guy from New Zealand. Like, it was awesome. It was so much fun.
Wow. Your whole family went?
Nope, just my wife and I.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
like a
cool.
second honeymoon.
I bet.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And we
Um,
had never been to Europe, so that was new for us too.
Over the years, I have been coached by countless mentors, and now I want to offer that to you as well. How? By Marty Hofmann's Life Coaching. This will be a 6-week program in which I will guarantee you will develop a more growth mindset. We will set goals and learn about the importance of the processes and habits behind those goals. I will also help you see your story differently as things happening for you, not to you. We will also be discussing your future self and give you clarity on who that is and what it looks like. For more information, please follow the link below or hop on martyhoffman.com and follow the coaching link. Kurt, what was your training like for that? Was it pretty intense?
Yeah, it was super intense. I really wanted to do well. Um, a lot of guys just were so excited to make it, that they went and just laid total eggs. They ate all the food and,
Mm,
did the thing, the tourist thing, and we didn't. I told my wife, I said, I want to have fun. We're going to do stuff, but I'm going there to race. Like,
yeah.
I want to do well. I'm not dragging you halfway across the world to just say, who cares? And so, yeah, my training was actually so intense. Actually, I had built up to the point to where I got sick and bottomed out, and
Mm,
had like limped my way through the end of my training, my last
training.
training, and I was really
So
worried about it.
you found your breaking point.
I found it. I found it, and I went over it for sure. But what happened is, I bottomed out, but because of that, I came in fresh
Mm,
and had my best race of my life. I mean, by far my best triathlon ever. I think I ran a 36 something 10K, which demolished my PR. I mean,
mm,
I'd never run that fast before. Just everything came together for me. So it actually worked out. But yeah, it was pretty intense. I was probably training, somewhere between 15 and 18 hours a week of
okay.
actual training. That doesn't take into account getting to the locations on that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
actual
That's
training time.
that's Strava time.
That's Strava time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, it's pretty intense training, but I like to train.
Yeah.
Obviously, you do too. You don't run 120 miles in a week without liking to train. You got to enjoy it, and
Yeah.
I really liked. I would train all the time if I could. I That's not very relatable, I know, but it's true. I just really like it. I
Mhm.
just really like it.
It's interesting you mentioned that some people just basically went there to do the tourism thing. My dad was a sheep shearer and represented the United States, I think in 2002, and he had the same experience. He took it really serious, but his teammates didn't. And
Yeah.
and it was frustrating because it was a team sport. I mean, you get points as your team,
Oh
but
wow.
these other guys wanted to sleep around and get drunk and dad's like, "What did we come here for?" You know? So
Yeah.
it was hard because he felt like I mean, and they did all right, but he felt like they didn't get a good representation because the guys didn't take it serious. So it's interesting
Yeah.
that happens at all levels.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I mean, I think guys were just so satisfied that they made it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the yeah, I can't remember now. That doesn't I was either the first or second American to cross the line for my age group. And to give you some idea, I was like 15th in the nation. Like I was 15th in the nation coming in, and I got 15th in the world.
You were the underdog.
Oh yeah. Oh, big time underdog. I was even the underdog American for that matter. But some of the guys don't make the trip. Some of the guys don't make the trip. Other guys blow it off. There were several that went, but no, it was. So a lot of them had beaten me at nationals too, and so I was pretty happy about that.
That's
Being
cool.
able to beat them when it mattered.
Yeah, that's for sure. If you could look back, Kurt, and I guess you probably do this with your oldest daughter, but if you could give a 20-year-old listener advice, what advice would you tell them in regards to financial freedom, specifically, but maybe even some fitness stuff too?
So on the financial freedom part, would it be like real estate specific or just financial freedom in general?
Anything, yeah, like.
Okay.
Because I know your kids are all coming into that, right? So what are you telling your kids in regards to this?
I would say to them, don't be afraid of humble beginnings. I talk to a lot of young, budding entrepreneurs or whatever, and they're like, "Oh man, I envy that you can train this much, or I envy this, or whatever." And I'm like, "No, you don't get it. I didn't leave my job till I was 39 years old. Before that, I worked my face off,
Yeah.
and before that, we had no money.
Mm-hmm.
So I really say, don't be afraid of humble beginnings. It's okay. Like you have to work yourself into this. Young parents, young dads, I can speak to the dads a lot more than the moms. The moms, I'm a big fan when they can come home and leave their jobs immediately. I think as men, I think it's important that we go out and make money and allow our ladies the opportunity to do what they need to do, take care of the kids. So I would say, even from the financial freedom perspective of that, like, hey, don't worry about having a job right now, or even two jobs. Like working your face off to provide for your family. Like it's okay. It's a very noble thing. Like, but don't squander your money.
Sure.
Save it. Put it away. Live well within your means, and then start building that real estate portfolio or that business in cracks of time, especially when the kids are babies, right? They don't remember if you're not there. We want to think they will. They don't. Trust me. When they're babies, all they want is their mother. They don't care about their dad when they're babies, right? They don't need us. Like, go work like crazy. Make as much money as you can, because when they're older, that's when they're going to need you. And that's when you're going to want to dig your well before you're thirsty. So put in the time now. Throw yourself at your job. Make as much money as you can now. And then from a physical standpoint, it's just do what you can with what you have. Because when you're running, I don't know about you, but when I was running hard, I honestly didn't have a whole lot of extra time or mental capacity for much. But I would try and do push-ups and sit-ups and squats and things like that in the morning before I got my day started. Just something to stay active. I wasn't going out and competing for a world title. Like, that wasn't something, had to give. Like, there had to be a shift in priorities. And that really wasn't in the cards until now. Now I can do that. But that's because of all this body of work that happened before that nobody saw. You're the same way, right? You and your family, you guys did all this body of work, and that's why you can train for these ultras now. You're not skipping all the work. Nobody saw that. They didn't see the long hours and the wondering if you're going to make it and all this stuff, right? And so it's okay to go through that. In fact, I think it's a good thing, and I wouldn't want to take that from anybody. Those hard times.
Yeah.
So
hard times make great men. What's a book? What's a favorite book you have? I know you and I've traded some texts back and forth on some books, but what's a book you recommend to people?
Wow. So many books.
Give me top 3 then.
Top 3. Okay. I'm trying to think of the ones that impacted me the most. So Shoe Dog is one of them.
Okay.
If you're building a business. If you're building a business, Shoe Dog's an amazing story of the challenges and the ups and downs of the entrepreneur. Amazing. I have my son reading it right now. He's 18. He's reading it for homeschool. There's some language in it. So, if you're going to have kids read it or whatever, it probably needs to be age appropriate. I won't say anything by Robert Kiyosaki because that's everybody's go-to. So I won't say any book by Robert Kiyosaki, although you can't go wrong. I just read again The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster by Darren Hardy. I just read it again and I'd forgotten how good it was, and such a good reminder.
I taught that last year at our homeschool co-op.
Did you really?
Yeah, they had me teach entrepreneur class, and that was first semester. We went through that book, and second semester was E-Myth. And
oh, cool!
But at the end of this first semester, all the kids were able to have a store, and so we had a product, and they had a store, and then we got to break down their store second semester through E-Myth, like, what systems and processes did you do well? What could you have done better? Marketing, all that stuff. It was really good.
That's awesome. I think you're the only other person I've talked to that has read Roller Coaster.
Really?
Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. Yeah. For some reason, a lot of people have read his Compound Effect.
Yeah.
Which is also a fantastic book. It's great. But for some reason, the Entrepreneur Roller Coaster, it touched me more. I think it's because it's what I needed to hear.
The ups and downs.
The ups and the downs, man. Oh,
Twist.
I just needed to know that. And there's so many other books, man. I'm going through trying to pick ones. I mean, you've got Atomic Theory. You got all those types of books. Your next, your 5 next moves? Your next 5 moves, by Patrick Bet-David. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic book. So, I was once told by a mentor that leaders are readers, right? And I was never a reader. And he's like, well, if you want to be a leader, you better start. And that really, so since then I read, for me, a lot. I know people read lots of books, but for me, I mean, my goal is 32 books a year. I want to read 32 books a year, and that's not Audible, that's read. For me, I want the whole experience of, I don't get as much out of Audible, but so yeah, that reading just in general, I'm like, find anything and just start reading. It's not, fiction probably isn't going to help you a whole lot, but anything nonfiction, just read it, man.
Yeah. Okay, last question as I wrap this up. What is your final message? If this is your last recording, what do you want to tell the world?
Not to take ourselves and our businesses too seriously. There's a lot more important things, and it's what it can afford us, not the business, so that would probably be my biggest thing. There are things that really, really matter, right? Legacy, faith, the things that set our families up that really matter, and our business should serve us. So that's a whole bunch of messages in once, but
no, it's good. It's good.
So yeah, that would be it.
It's powerful. How do people follow, and find more about you?
Oh boy. Yeah, that one might be the good luck. No. But yeah, honestly, it's actually, oddly enough, not Restore Next Door. We do have a website for Restore Next Door, but that won't be very interesting to your listeners. runningcreekco.com is actually a website that my wife created. We actually aren't coaching right now or anything like that, but we used to. And so we have a lot of resources and stuff on there that would be interesting. If you're an athlete, follow me on Strava, find me. I mean, just putting Kurt Phillips. I don't know. I don't even know what my Strava handle. I have no idea. But I'd love to have you follow me. I see what you're up to. Otherwise, I'm not really on social media, man.
Yeah.
That's about as far as it gets for me. Honestly, I'm not somebody who has myself out there. I'm told I should be better at that, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, I appreciate this, and thanks for being on.
Yeah, this was tons of fun. Thank you. This was great. It was an honor to be on your podcast, man. Podcasting's a ton of work. It's a lot of work, and you're bringing in guests, and it seems like you're just sitting and talking, but it's a lot of effort. And so I appreciate you putting in the effort, and I know that a lot of people are listening to this do too. So thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to thank you guys for listening to the end. In closing, I just wanted to add that if this message resonates with you, if it aligns with your values, and something in it today triggered something, then you can also look me up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. We are really trying to help people live more intentional lives to kill the complacency with which they have subscribed to. I know there's many ways in which I get sucked in all the time. So if this is beneficial, follow me there.